What's good, my Travel Barber Tribe? Welcome back to another haircut tutorial. We got a lot to talk about today. As you can see from the background, I am in a new barbershop. Also, I am trying to get things figured out with my camera, where I want to put it at, lighting and whatnot. So I started the video off on the opposite side, and the lighting was just not good when I looked at it later. So this is not how his hair is when he came in. It was actually a lot longer than this. I put the beginning of how his hair looked like before at the end of the video, so that way you guys can get the first half of the video with this better lighting that I figured out. So this is the first video posted in the new barbershop. Once I figure out exactly how I want to angle my camera and whatnot, and the lighting and all that, I will be a lot more consistent. But today we did a number 6 all over. We did a skin taper on the sides and back with a lineup. So we started off with the number 6 first, all around. You can catch that closer to the end of the video. And then we went ahead and balded out the temple areas and the neckline. You already know, just as always, we had to remove the weight first, so we took a 1.5 guard and removed a lot of the hair out of the way before we started our first line. And then we take our trimmer, we create our first line, we make sure that it comes at an angle, staying below the top of the ear, and then meeting where the C cup meets the lineup, that bottom corner right there, and then we bring it all the way across, bald everything out with an electric shaver, and then we're going to go ahead and start our fade. So I just got to get a little bit more of that weight out of the way, so I got my number 2 guard on, open, and we're just taking some of that weight out so we can see the area that we're going to be working with better. And then after that, we're going to start to fade. And now we have our half guard lever closed, and we can see the area very well now. So now we're going to go ahead and create our first line. It's going to be about a finger's width going up, making sure you're following that angle that you did and not going straight across. And then we're going to take our guard off, and we're going to be using our lever and the corner of our clipper to blend into the skin. And for our next step, we have our number 1 guard on, lever closed, going up another finger's width, making sure to scoop out towards the top. And then we're going to remove that guard and put our half guard on, and then same thing, we're going to blend with our corner of our clipper only. And for our next step, we have our 1.5 guard on, lever closed. Gonna same thing, go up and kind of scoop out towards the top, and then to blend in between, we're gonna take that guard off, put our number 1 on, and then we're gonna use our corner of our clipper and kind of fluctuate the lever to make sure that we get a nice smooth blend. And then we're going to be fluctuating between our lever and our number 2 guard and 3 guard, just to get a little bit of the excess hair sticking out towards the top, kind of smooth that area out, so when he combs his hair down, it will blend right into the skin taper on the bottom. And now we're going to line up just around the neckline and the ear to see how it looks in the mirror. So after you're done with your taper, your fade, if you line up that area right after to see how it looks after the perimeter is clean, has nice clean sharp lines around it, then that can sometimes really show you if there's any more work that needs to be done or if the taper looks good as is. So it's a good little hint to use when doing a fade, just to kind of get a better look at everything. Always use your mirror, but if you have time to line up in between just to get a good look before going back over to the opposite side, then that's a good way to do that. Alright, if you've looked at the taper in the mirror and it all looks good, you can move on to the opposite side now. I'm going to do the exact same steps. 1.5 guard to remove some weight first, then we create our first line, and then we start the steps of fading. And it's always going to be the same thing. We're going to start with our half guard, then remove that, and then blend in between. And then we're going to go to our number 1, remove that, put our half guard on, blend in between, then 1.5, and then so on and so forth. And it's going to be the same thing repeated on this side as well as the back. So this is the neck taper we're doing. I actually did this first, but that's when I realized that the lighting was not good. So I moved it to the other side. But same steps, skin taper on the neckline. We're gonna remove the weight first and do everything the same as we did on the sides. Doesn't matter how big or small the area is, the steps are always gonna be the same depending on the haircut that they want. And then the last clip you'll see before the lineup will be me removing all the hair when he first walked in. We did number 6 all over. You'll see the length that he had of his hair before we did this haircut. And this is the before, so you guys can get a good look of the haircut transformation that we did today. Right, and then once the haircut is complete, we're gonna go ahead and line up the front, make everything nice and sharp and clean, do a little straight razor, and we are done with the haircut. This is the final look. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.